Welcome to Convertabot Reviews. I'm your host, Convertabot, and I really do not want to review this figure. But I have to have some sort of professional integrity here, so I'm going to try and be as optimistic and factual as possible. This figure belongs in the trash. Today's figure is the Hasbro Legacy Origins Wheeljack. It is based off of Wheeljack's first appearance in the cartoon ever in a more Cybertronian form than his normal Earth mode that we see for the majority of the cartoon. Wheeljack's accessories include his blaster, cutting blades he used in the first episode, and some plastic parts that function as an energon bridge or a set of wings for him. Lots of show accuracy for one episode, but what's not show accurate is this giant backpack, which has a problem staying put. The tabs are not the greatest. Thankfully, lots of accessories means he has some storage on him. He's got two small little tabs on the back itself for those cutting blades, and on top of that he can also hold his blaster like normal or get mounted on the shoulder as it does often in cartoon. And the piece of blue useless plastic has two little configurations, one where it's at an angle which functions as a pair of wings that plugs onto the back, the other as essentially a road, I guess. I think that's what you want to call it. Point is, he just sits on it in vehicle mode. Again, talk about that later. This blue plastic is ultimately useless. It throws off his stability in robot mode. It does nothing in vehicle mode other than be something he can sit on. But beyond that, it's just one giant case of parts forming. Honestly, would rather just throw it in the bin and forget about it. Moving on to Wheeljack's posability, he has pretty basic articulation for a official figure. Ball joint at the head, can do a full 360 and can look up and down a little bit. The arms can move out on a hinge and also rotate at the elbow, and he also has a bicep swivel as well, which, again, all that stuff, full 360. The backpack doesn't really hinder it, which is a good thing, thank God. He does have wrist articulation as well, can also swivel. Unlimited waist articulation, full 360 there, love it. Legs can move up that far and back that far. Also, there is a bend at the knee, and the foot is on a ball joint that acts as an unlimited swivel, pivot, whatever you need it to be. He can do the full splits. Real quick, I want to talk about that knee bend. He's got the same knees as Legacy Silverbolt and Legacy Cybertron Starscream, both on screen right now, where it bends, but it like locks for a second, and then it just snaps, and then it's almost a free-ranging bend, which isn't bad, except it's not tight enough past that lock, so anything in a bended position, it's more egregious with Wheeljack, but it basically just compromises the stability of the figure completely. Moving on to size comparisons, here he is next to Studio Series 100 Bumblebee, Legacy United Cybertron Starscream, and my previous review, the New Age Grimlock, or Mirror. Okay, time to cue the music, and let's get on to that transformation. Vehicle mode isn't complete without those cutters on the front and the blaster on top. Once those are connected, it looks like he jumped right out of the show. And like I mentioned, that blue piece of plastic basically just sits right underneath him. Again, completely useless. Why did they include? To go along with the first episode of the cartoon, his trunk space is able to open up. He's essentially a glorified van. Normally, this feature is meant and reserved for the Origin Bumblebee, but essentially anything small can fit in there. It's quite spacious, but it's not very detailed. It's basically just turns Wheeljack's transformation here just basically turns him into a hollow brick, which unfortunately doesn't have much weight, so you can't use it. Opening it up is as simple as removing the top and pulling the flap out. Unfortunately, you cannot open and close it without doing that, which is kind of parts for me. I don't like it. Yeah, no bueno here. Size comparisons once again. Here's Bumblebee, Starscream, and Grimlock. Final thoughts. I don't hate this figure, but I don't like him either. He is a Voyager scale figure in terms of price, i.e. $35 at your local retail store. That's in the US, people. But for what you get compared to other Voyagers, seriously, Cybertron Starscream, 86 Blaster, hell, I'll even take Silverbolt again. There are better options. It's a novelty, yes, but it's just that, novelty. Got a bunch of parts forming, and it's basically a shell former. Either way, I'm Convertabot. This has been Wheeljack. Yeah, my next review is... That's a frickin' dragon. What do you expect?